Hey everyone, my name is Matt, and this is my reaction video for Com-263 with Robert Camacho. So let's get to it. What I think about the video from class is that I think it fairly depicts the accuracy of American culture. I think it's pretty accurate, knowing that one of the patterns that I notice in American culture is how people talk about money or talk about their wealth. From the article, they state like a person's bathroom. Someone with nice marble walls, everything's clean, may depict that someone's very wealthy compared to someone who has like pottery walls and it's sort of not as clean as the other bathroom being compared to. Kind of depicts on how wealthy a person is. One of the biggest patterns from the world that links to American culture is one through like food. Most specifically, for example, barbecue. Barbecue is known all around the world, and depending on how it's cooked, how it's seasoned, and how they cut the meat or anything like that, that's what makes a culture very different. Take, for instance, if we were to compare American barbecue to Korean barbecue. American barbecue, the meat is very big. Like everything, like Americans have very big meat sizes compared to Korean or Asian barbecue, where everything's very thin and it's well portioned. One good example could be what type of meat is cooked. Take, for instance, American brisket. American brisket is cut on the lower part of the cow, so the lower part of its chest all the way to its breast. And it's a very thick piece of meat. You have to throw it into a smoker. You season it with barbecue sauce, which is made from molasses and vinegar, and then you cook it for about 14 hours. Compared to Korean brisket, cut from the same animal, but it's cut very thinly. So all you have to do is put it on a grill. Cooks faster, and the taste is much more unique. Just because compared to American barbecue, which they use molasses and vinegar, Korean brisket uses a base of soy sauce, and they put they use actual fruit like pears or like a puree to actually sweeten the food. I think barbecues changed throughout history just by the way people have learned how to cook it. According to Michigan State University, they state that smoking meat was the very first way that humans have ever learned how to cook meat. Like this, smoking meat dates back to when people used to live in caves. And it's still going on today as colonial sailors used it to actually preserve meat. They would either cure it or put some salt on it, or they actually do one way, which is called smoking. According to Blue Pacific Flavors, barbecue is a fusion of many cultural traditions from all across the world. Being the two of them being Africa and the Caribbean. It involves a lot of slow cooking, so they put it on a skewer on an open fire, and then they would cook it from there. In the present day, it's still being used today, but we're just using old techniques that have been there for years on end. Like today, we have charcoal grills. We use charcoal to cook meat. We have gas grills. We use butane. You can broil meat, you can char it, or you can throw it in an oven. I think cooking barbecue, discovering how many are the ways that we can cook food, I think it's a big benefit for the US, especially for US culture. The reason why I say that is because the US is kind of built on immigrants. Most people, when you ask them, like, how did they get here, they're not really from, like, the Americas. Only the Native Americans were. They would mostly say that their families came here from probably across sea, through the roads, whatever. And when they came here to the US, they brought their own traditions, they brought their own cultures from the motherland. So, and that includes cooking food, grilling, gas flames, smoking, charcoal. They picked up many traditions. By learning the different types of cooking meat, everyone can learn from each other. And also in barbecue standpoints, not only maybe there's one way to cook it, but there are multiple ways to cook it, as I referenced one time. And that one way that you always cook may not be the right way to cook it. Take, for instance, brisket. American brisket, it's a big piece of meat, so you're gonna have to throw it into an oven or a smoker. Compared to like something like Korean brisket, which is very thin, all you have to do is just put it on a grill. If you were like to which you can, American brisket on a grill, it will take probably forever to cook. Unlike Korean brisket, where it's just very thin, it only takes about 2 or 3 minutes. Also, cooking, or the benefits also, is that other people can experiment with other types of meat on how to cook barbecue, and it also gives them more experience around food and like other people's cultures. That's it. That's my video, guys. Thank you.